Hi, Eric Stratton, Rush Chairman. Damn glad to meet you.
Hi, that was Eric Stratton, Rush Chairman. He was damn glad to meet you.
Sometimes the best movie moments are the ones no one sees coming, and Animal House gave us one of the greatest by complete accident. At the heart of a raucous college party scene in Animal House lies a line so beloved it has become legendary. What fans don't know is that this iconic line wasn't even scripted. It was a total mistake. Get ready to dive into the hilarious story behind how one slip-up became Animal House's most beloved line, showing that cinematic magic often comes when you least expect it. The hilarious zit scene in Animal House. Animal House is a hilarious movie that made a big splash in the comedy world. John Landis directed it and came out in 1978. There is a scene that stands out and is very well known. It's all about a strange moment that wasn't even planned. John Belushi, who played Bluto, thought of it and made it happen. This takes place in the Faber College restaurant. Bluto is a member of the crazy and wild Delta Tau Chi Club. He puts an unbelievable amount of food on his tray in this scene. It's hard to believe how much food there is. He starts putting food in his mouth grossly when he sits down. The funny part is when, with his lips full of food, he turns to a group of shocked students and says, "I'm a zit, get it?" His lips then get squished together, which makes food fly everywhere. People in the canteen laugh and look a little disgusted. Everything is a mess. This well-known line wasn't in the script, which is really cool. Nope, John Belushi made it up on the spot. He was great at making things up that were funny and finding funny things in strange places. The director, John Landis, told the cameraman to focus on Bluto's face so that everyone could see how he made funny faces and timed them. It was important to Landis to record all of Belushi's improvised and physical comedy. When Bluto said that line out of the blue, it made a funny scene even more memorable. Then why is this scene still so well known? Part of the reason for this is that Bluto doesn't care about rules or what's right. He loves being bad and not following the rules, as this line shows. Movies, TV shows, and ads have all used parts of the scene to make fun of current events. You may recognize this line from shows like The Simpsons, even if you haven't seen Animal House. This part of Animal House is so brave and funny that it makes the show a classic. How the zit scene changed comedy. Not only was the zit scene hilarious, but it also revolutionized the way comedies were represented in films. The film demonstrated that a film may separate out from the crowd by being outlandish and humorous. The following comedies were able to learn from this sequence that it is possible to generate incredibly amusing moments by allowing performers to be stupid and spontaneous. On set, directors and actors began to realize how vital it was to allow performers to experiment with new things and have fun while they were working. Having the ability to be creative and make things up as you go may sometimes result in the most memorable memories. This particular moment is noteworthy because it exemplifies the character of Bluto, who is a man who does not adhere to norms and is only interested in having fun. His act of transforming himself into a zit is a ridiculous but fulfilling manner of demonstrating that he does not care about adhering to the norms that society has established. It's a moment that makes all of us think back to moments when we felt like we didn't belong or when we wanted to fight back against what was expected of us. Because we identify with Bluto's defiant nature, this scene will remain in our memories forever. The setting of Animal House. Faber College is a made-up school that made fun of real colleges in the 1960s. It's where the movie takes place. It looks like Faber is a fancy, strict school with a social order and lots of rules. This sets the scene for the fun fight in the movie between people who follow the rules and people who don't. Lawrence Kroger, Thomas Hulse, and Kent Dorfman, Stephen Furst, are the first people in the movie. These two freshmen are excited to begin their college lives, but they quickly discover that college isn't always what they thought it would be. When they go to visit Omega Theta Pi, the best fraternity in school, they are turned down in a very embarrassing way. Larry and Kent leave Omega Theta Pi because they don't feel safe there. They look for another fraternity and find Delta Tau Chi. This frat is not at all like the fancy Omega Theta Pi. It's a mess, and the people who are in it are wild and unruly. The Delta Tau Chi welcomes Larry and Kent and starts their initiation, which is full of crazy jokes and funny traditions. They get new names, Pinto and Flounder, and start taking part in the frat's crazy and silly customs. The initiation is full of crazy tasks that test their imagination and ability to keep going. John Vernon plays Dean Vernon Wormer, who is like the bad guy in the story. He is the strict boss at Faber College and doesn't like Delta Tau Chi at all. He wants them to leave because he thinks they are making trouble. He does this because he knows they will get kicked out of college if they do something wrong again. This is how Wormer tells them he's had enough of their wild behavior and wants to control them. Dean Wormer teams up with the Greek organization Omegas to get Delta Tau Chi into even more trouble. The Omegas, which are led by Marmalade and Niedermeyer, can't wait to help catch Delta Tau Chi being silly. Their lives are already hard because of their partnership, but now they have to deal with extra scrutiny and challenges from their peers and the college. Delta Tau Chi's toga party is one of the best parts of Animal House. The fun and rebellious attitude of the fraternity is shown at this party. There are streamers and flowers all over the house, and everyone wears togas made from bedsheets when they get there. It's like a huge, crazy costume party. When Otis Day and the Knights play live music, the party gets even wilder. Everyone is dancing and having a great time to their song Shout. John Belushi's Bluto is the life of the party because he does crazy things that get into all kinds of funny problems. There's more to the party than just dancing and music. The guys in the fraternity think it would be funny to use a made-up catapult to throw food and drinks across the room. This is a funny mess that shows how much they enjoy being silly and having fun. The wild road trip. So Otter and his buddies, in all their glory, decide to hit the road for a wild adventure to a women's college nearby. Otter's pumped. He's thinking fun, meeting new people, and just a good time all around. They pile into their beat-up old car, full of excitement and high hopes. But of course, things don't exactly go as planned. Almost immediately, their trusty vehicle starts giving them trouble. It's like the car had its own ideas about how the trip should go. The engine starts sputtering and then just gives up entirely. So there they are, stuck on the side of the road with a car that seems to have decided it's done for the day. Undeterred, the gang gets to work. Boone, ever the joker, insists he can handle the flat tire like a pro. But after a lot of grunting, some questionable moves, and a lot of mismatched parts, they've got a spare tire that's halfway on, and a car that's jacked up at a bizarre angle. Pinto and Flounder are trying to help too, but their efforts just make everything more chaotic. It's like a slapstick routine with no script. Just when they think they're back on track, they run straight into a parade. Yep, a parade. They're stuck in traffic, and every minute they're delayed feels like a personal insult. They decide to take a detour, which seems like a great idea until they end up in the middle of a farmer's market. Picture this: a bunch of confused guys in mismatched clothes trying to restart a car while vegetables are flying everywhere. It's a mess, and they're right in the thick of it. Finally, they make it to the college, but surprise, the event they were aiming for is packed, and the guests are not happy. The college's staff is pretty annoyed too, and here come the Deltas, trying to smooth things over with their signature charm. But their attempts are, well, let's just say, not going so well. They manage to insult the school mascot, get tangled in a food fight, and make a general ruckus during a formal event. It's a comedy of errors at its finest. Throughout all this chaos, each guy adds his own brand of humor to the mix. Otter's got his charm, Boone's got his goofy antics, Pinto's clumsy as ever, and Flounder's wide-eyed confusion just makes everything funnier. Their road trip, which started with high hopes and grand plans, turns into a series of laugh-out-loud moments and mishaps. It's clear that sometimes the best memories are made when things go hilariously off the rails. The Wacky parade attack. At Faber College, the homecoming parade was supposed to be a delightful event, full of school spirit and festive cheer. However, the Delta Tau Chi fraternity had other ideas. They decided to shake things up and make this parade truly unforgettable, in their own chaotic way. The Deltas turned a car into a faux cake float, transforming it into a wild spectacle that caught everyone's attention. Imagine a huge cake rolling down the street, complete with ridiculous decorations and some serious over-the-top antics. During this parade, Bluto, who was portrayed by the legendary John Belushi, was the mastermind behind all of the chaos. While he was dressed like a pirate, he led the charge, swinging from flags, and caused a variety of entertaining havoc. In order to create a scenario that was not only amusing but also unforgettable, Bluto and his fraternity mates utilized a combination of outlandish stunts and humorous timing. As a result of their actions, they were able to bring down floats, frighten onlookers, and ensure that their competitors, the Omegas, were greatly embarrassed. It was the pinnacle of the Delta's defiant spirit, demonstrating to everyone that they were not going to adhere to any rules or allow anyone to dictate how they should have fun. When we talk about John Belushi, we must say that he was a true comedic genius. He began his journey in Chicago with the Second City, a well-known comedy troupe that is recognized for its cutting and spontaneous humor. When he joined Saturday Night Live, he was given his big break. He rapidly became famous for his outrageous and unforgettable personality on the show, and he became quite popular. With his depiction as Bluto in Animal House, John Belushi is able to showcase his flair for playing funny and lovable troublemakers. This is one of the most famous roles that he has ever played. But Belushi didn't stop there. He continued to dazzle audiences with his comedic brilliance in films like The Blues Brothers and on TV shows like 30 Rock. His versatility and humor left a lasting impact on the entertainment world. Despite his struggles with personal issues, his legacy lives on through his groundbreaking performances and unforgettable characters. John Belushi remains a shining example of comedic brilliance that continues to inspire and entertain. John Belushi's big break and legacy. John Belushi was a great comedian who changed the entertainment business in a big way. Through his early years and into fame as a comedian, his life is full of talent, new ideas, and impact. John Belushi was born in Chicago, Illinois on January 24, 1949. He was raised in a working-class home with parents who were both Albanian and American. His mom took care of the house and his dad ran a restaurant. He was introduced to a lot of different cultures and experiences as a child in Chicago, which shaped his comedic style. John has always been good at acting, even when he was young. His comedic skills were first shown in school shows and improvised skits while he was at Wheaton Central High School. These early events had a big impact on his future work as a comedian. After high school, Belushi went to the University of Wisconsin-Madison to continue his love of acting and comedy. Things really took off for him in Chicago, though. He joined the improvised comedy group The Second City, which is known for helping many future comic stars get their start. It didn't take long for Belushi's high-energy shows and bold humor to make him stand out at the Second City. Belushi's comedic style was shaped a lot by the friendly and creative atmosphere of the Second City. Here, he met up with up-and-coming stars like Dan Aykroyd and Gilda Radner and worked with them. Their shared experiences and ability to work together creatively were very important in making Belushi's comedy style. When Belushi joined the group of Saturday Night Live in its first season in 1975, it was his big break. Lorne Michaels made the show, which was a unique mix of sketch comedy, musical acts, and guest appearances. Belushi quickly became a famous actor, and his crazy, fearless sense of humor made him stand out. The clumsy samurai he played on Saturday Night Live was one of his most memorable parts. The character had a unique accent and physical comedy that became a trademark of his time on the show. Another well-known part was that of the Blues Brothers, which he created with Dan Aykroyd. The Blues Brothers, a made-up rhythm and blues band, became a cultural phenomenon that led to a hit record and a movie. Belushi's role as Joliet Jake Blues showed how versatile he was as a musician and comic. After having success on Saturday Night Live and in the Blues Brothers, Belushi moved on to movies. His first big movie part was as Bluto Blutarsky in National Lampoon's Animal House. Bluto is a likable but wild fraternity member. It was clear from the movie's success that Belushi could make people laugh with both physical comedy and sharp satire. Belushi continued to work in movies with roles in the Blues Brothers and other movies, such as 30 Rock in 1981. Even though Belushi did well in his career, he had problems in his personal life, especially with drugs. The stress of fame and his strong work ethic led to a habit of bad behavior that hurt him. John Belushi's sad goodbye. On March 5, 1982, the world lost a bright star when John Belushi passed away. He was only 33, and his death from a drug overdose left a gaping hole in the hearts of many. John was more than just a comedian. He was a force of nature, known for his high-energy performances and unforgettable characters. From his wild antics on Saturday Night Live to his iconic role in Animal House, he had a way of lighting up the screen and making people laugh like no one else. John's passing was a massive shock to everyone who knew him and admired his work. It wasn't just the fans who felt this loss deeply. His friends and colleagues, many of whom had shared stages and screens with him, were devastated. For them, John wasn't just a talented actor and comedian. He was a close friend whose laughter and charisma brightened their days. This tragic event also cast a spotlight on a crucial issue that often gets overlooked: mental health and addiction. John Belushi's death serves as a powerful reminder of how even those who seem invincible and successful can face serious struggles. It highlights the importance of addressing mental health openly and providing support to those in need. It's a call to action for better understanding and assistance for individuals grappling with addiction and emotional difficulties. As we remember John Belushi, it's essential to reflect on both his extraordinary contributions to entertainment and the sobering reality of his struggles. His legacy is a mix of laughter and lessons, reminding us to cherish the joy he brought to our lives and to strive for greater empathy and support for those who are battling their own silent wars. John's amazing legacy. John Belushi left a big mark on comedy, even though his time in the spotlight was short. The silly and brave things he did on stage made people laugh especially hard. Other comics looked up to him because he mixed funny body language with smart jokes. People knew John from his roles on Saturday Night Live, where he made up some of the best parts ever. With his crazy sketches and jokes, he made people laugh. And people will always remember his parts in movies like Animal House and The Blues Brothers. These movies showed how talented he was and how he could make people laugh in different ways. People still love John Belushi's work even though he's dead. People still talk about and enjoy his comedic acts, and he has won awards and been praised for them. He had a unique style and a fearless sense of humor that made many comics and actors want to be like him. John is no longer with us, but his funny and brave spirit goes on in the work he left behind. And there you have it. Animal House's most beloved line was an accidental gem. If you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes trivia, hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating insights and movie magic. Thanks for watching.